Seems like I'm having a bit of trouble. I don't know if it's live yet. Let's see. Oh yeah. It's kind of, that's the way it goes sometimes, right? I will just do it like this, and we're good to go, I think. There you go. All right. Tuesday night. How about that? Check one thing out. Sorry about that. Here you go. So, Tuesday night, as I said, it's I don't think I did a live for some time. It's not that long, but so I was about to edit some photos and thought, just fire it up and just talk to myself for a little bit. Why not? So. And I also did upload a video in a short while ago, and I was thinking about putting it to work in these frames. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, check the video. It's a cool little thing to create like small presets for small isolated adjustments, so to speak. You create a preset for maybe only the color mixer, and you get like you can do by the amount slider. You can go up and down to amplify the effect or just reduce the effect. So that's a pretty cool way to do it. And I also create presets for resetting. So if I have a preset where I will remove the yellows, let's say, and if I'm not happy, I just click the preset below where it's resetting the one I just did, instead of going back and forth from the left and the right on the screen. So might seem like a crazy way to do it, but efficiency. That's a cool thing. So I will just start with this. Nothing major. I will. This is the ambient file. This is it shot straight out of the camera. I will do my preset. It's kind of a high dynamic range this day, but let's see what we can do. I'm usually not that super picky with my ambient before I blend them, but why not? Let's see what's auto. I think it's way too green, way too yellow. So it's been kind of a slow week for me, work-wise, on the field. But I'm pretty pleased with that, because I have so much other stuff to do. And if you're looking in my eyes and see that I got like bags under my eyes because I didn't sleep, that's totally correct. Because actually, and I will announce this here. We did like a test. I don't know if you've watched Lucas' videos or Lucas' channel. Him and I were up late last night recording an episode for a podcast, real estate photography related. It's going to be it's gonna be cool. I think we have to be better at time management because I think we set like 3.5, 4 hours just to. Yeah, we had so much to talk about, and it's so fun. So we'll see if there's some editable footage and sound from that, and we can put it together for like a podcast episode in the near future. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but how's the market these days? I didn't have any like slow season to speak about. Just during the holidays after. Yeah, but that's quite common. There's people have other things on their mind than selling their homes, I guess. So, but we are going to spring, and that is awesome. The Swedish winters are Swedish winters. We have, we didn't have much of a winter to talk about, but it's so gray, it's so wet, it's so it's not fun at all. I prefer summertime. Yeah, and here I will try and show you the preset that I created in the video I uploaded just a short while ago. I did remove the ones I did create, but I have a couple of them right here that does the same thing. I have I do have like an exposure, just one stop up, one stop down. I do have a curve strong, the medium contrast, the strong contrast, and I have a color mixer and point color in the same, which reduces, let's see, it reduces the yellows by 21, the orange by 16, and also the magenta. The magenta is always like a, I don't know, it's not, and the point color as well. I do have this color selected. Can we visualize the range? Can we do that? It's on 0, right? So it removes nothing in the action. All right. I can move it up a bit. The thing about the point color, I think it's quite good because it's you can pinpoint. Yeah, I believe that's why they call it the point color, because you point a color and that's you can lower the range, and then just it's very isolated what color you are adjusting. And you can also you can of course do more colors, how many colors you want, but I think it's a cool way to put it in an action. And in this case I have the one I chose was the color mixer and the point. I have a reset preset, that's a cool name, to remove it, and then I have only the color mixer and I have only the point color. And I think in this case I am not going to reduce too much, because I think the flooring and the woods become too desaturated, too flat. But I think I will go for the point color. Let's see what we have. Yeah, I do think it's working anyway. So I don't know if you can see, but if you look in the ceiling over here, this is it as a default value. I can remove it completely. Some of it comes back, and I can just up it by like 200, and not much else is affected actually. The floor is still orangey, and so I'm fine with that. Go to the next one, and I'll just press Command, Option, and V to paste previous settings. I think to go down on the exposure a bit. Let's see. was kind of the same image I took too, I believe. Yeah, we'll keep that. We'll go to the next one. Command Option V for pasting the previous settings. Let's see if we can go. Yeah, here it affects the woods a little more than in the other image. Yeah. All right. I will do my shortcut Command Option Shift and minus to open this as layers in Photoshop. Maybe you should see what I'm doing as well. I'm seeing now that my screen is in the way. All right. Like I said, I'm a bit tired. There you go. You learn, you learn, you learn. All right. So we have, what do we have? Like 5 images, I think. I'm going to edit. It's an interesting choice of colors, right? Like a, I don't know what's the color. It's a little more like a very washed out yellow, and they painted the adjoining room, the bedroom, in pink. Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Yeah, I will start with this. So I will use my action for this, which sets up the ambient file with LUMENZIA. And I also did have some problems with LUMENZIA, especially when I just start Photoshop. For some reason the action doesn't work all the time, but it seems like it's working now, so yeah, that's cool. And as you can see, I got a little friend in the image, Style by You. Was interior designer piffing this place, and as you might know, if you're shooting flash ambient and you move around, they don't always think that they're in the way, but fortunately she was standing outside the doorpost, so she wasn't in the way at this time. So, well, like I said, I create a ambient blend of the 3 ambient files, put them in the group, disables it, and put it at the bottom in the action. And then I have my base flash on top, one in normal mode, one in darken mode. I have my side-to-side flashes here, and every other flash image is on top of that. So if I have 3, I have 4, I have 6, 7, they will all be in between the side-to-side flashes and the base flash. That is strange to call it base flash when it's on top, but it's on the bottom at first. So that is base. I do have it here still, but disabled. So yeah, I usually just start with this. I can do whatever I want. I can start with these 2 as well. And here, this frame shooting to the right is mostly to paint myself out from the other one, which is shot to mimic more of the light coming from the windows. So in this case, I will have that selected. I will create a black layer mask. I will select the brush tool. I will have white as my foreground color. I will have the flow around 30% and just start to paint myself out. It's a funny thing. I almost always stand on my toes when I'm shooting the flash. I don't know why. It's like a little tick, yeah, I don't know why. And there's a lot of funny faces, like you're trying to protect yourself from the flash or anything like that. So there's no not the images I would put on myself on the dating apps or anything like that. I'm pretty sure. Actually, also when you're shooting a wide-angle lens, okay, I'm not beach ready, but come on, some images are just crazy. You look like shit. But fortunately, I can easily paint myself out, so that's what I will do. And now I painted myself out there. I will let some light in from this little fella here, and in this case I will just put that in let's try lighten mode first. Looks decent, I think. I'm not too fond of that shadow, but we can pretend it's a big window over here that's casting that shadow on the curtain, but it gives it a little bit of texture, but yeah. And I will also, for the sake of it, just select my marquee tool. I will drag a rectangle around that door, and I will use this action, which is a 200 pixels feather and mask. And what that does, it's feathering the selection by 200 pixels and then creates a mask. I can do it manually if you want to see it. It's I will feather. I can do it in different ways. I can select, modify, I think, feather. I use the shortcut Shift F6, and then we will take 200 pixels, and then we just hit the layer mask button. I don't know if that does too much. Yeah, it reduces a bit. Maybe I can just, in this case, maybe I should have made the selection bigger, but I don't mind it. Yeah, you can see here up on the, I don't know what it is, like a frame or something. You get a little light. If I disable the mask, you get a little light there from that room. I think it's more important to use the layer mask trick if you put it in, like now I did it in screen mode instead, because if I disable the mask, you can see by the windows and on some other places you get some more lights that you don't need. And here you can also see the legs on the interior designer there. So I kind of like it with screen. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we just no. Maybe just reduce the opacity just a bit. No, yeah, there you go. And then I go to my base flash, my normal layer. I will, with a low flow, like 10%, we'll try to paint away those ugly shadows that the side-to-side flashes creates. The good thing with having more flashes is that you can almost always get away from having like reflections in picture frames and stuff. So, and the good thing, if you have the exposure kind of the same on your base flash and on your side-to-side flashes, they integrate very well, I think. So I did accidentally paint on that. If I want, I can also just instead put that layer on top and not worry about painting over that. But yeah. So there you go. Next step, I will do the next action, which puts the flash layers in a group, calls it flashes, put it on the bottom, enables the ambient files, put it on top, which is in luminosity mode with a gray layer mask, which is the same as 50% gray. I also use like a highlight protector for the ambient, which I think is very convenient sometimes. Sometimes I just remove it completely, and sometimes I have it like here with a density of 50%, and sometimes I just pull the density all the way up to protect more of the highlights. In this case, like protecting the ambient light from coming through the windows. So I think that looks kind of good because I can always paint black on this layer as well. It does the same thing, and you get a little more control. In this case, I think there's not much to see out the window, so maybe just reduce that a bit. See what I do, like a round of painting white on that mask to see what more the ambient can give us. It's kind of a flat environment. The lighting was flat, so as you can see here, this is a classic one. If I paint over the picture frames, most of the time the ambient file have reflections in surfaces, and that's a good thing about the flash. I think you can just tame them and keep the ones you want for natural feeling, and remove them completely if you want. Let's see what. It's getting some miscolor. I don't like that. I don't want this to be too bright. We don't want to immediately look in that room. And then on top of that, I do have a ambient fix, which is the ambient layer. And as you can see, this is in color mode right now. If I put that in normal mode, this is what it looks like. It looks kind of. Let's see. I will try something here. I will disable the mask and then put it in luminosity mode instead. Maybe we can do it like this. But as you can see, there's so much more discoloration when from the natural light most of the time. Like over here, this is some crazy stuff. This is not too bad in this image, but yeah. And now I will press F9 to go to a Nick Color Effects preset. Maybe see if I can do something here. I do not like how flat it is. Maybe if we do like trying some contrast color. Reduce opacity. It's a strange colors in this, I think. Let's see if I will flatten that. I will try the auto contrast. Yeah, get a little more punch. I will fade that to like 40%. Is there anything more we would do? I will try a camera raw filter, which is the same thing as going in Lightroom. I usually just go for the light and I press Command U for a auto. Doesn't do much, just punch the color. I don't like that. I will reset the color. I will straighten the image, see what auto gives us. Yeah, looks kind of good. I'm not that worried. I do see some slight miscolor, like in here. Sometimes it doesn't. It's not color cast. It's just the way the light hits. Sometimes the light is. Maybe that's is kind of what color cast is, but yeah. Sometimes it's very natural, but it doesn't fit anyway. I'll see if I can just tame the pinks. I do not like that color at all. Maybe make it a little bit brighter. Yeah. Good enough. Good enough. It's the same room from the other side. We'll press F1 for my action, and while that loads, I will have a sip of a drink. Same thing here, just backwards. But in this case, this frame is on top, so I will put a white layer mask. I will load the brush with black, like 30%. Just paint myself out. Now let's see. We'll press Shift F1 to get my brush and go to the mask on the base flash. Remove those strange shadows. Even if even if the shadow looks natural, sometimes it just mismatch with the actual ambient shadows and get you some strange color casts. So I try to reduce most of my shadow, which I can. Let's see here, we have some lantern in the window. See what the ambient does. This is it at full effect, but with a little bit of highlight protector. I can remove that. Sorry, I will remove that. So this is more like the... And I do have a neat little trick with the layer comps. What the layer comps do is actually just remembers different states of these files. So if you can see, if I press this one, the lighter, it will actually... You can see this mask here. It actually lets more of the lighter layer through, so it gets lighter, and the darker is removing the lighter one. So it's just the darker layer. This one doesn't do that much. Mostly the view. So let's see. No, I will go for the original in this case. See if I can prevent the ambient light from the brightest pixels. Just paint some more ambient. I like what the ambient light can do in these cases, like it lightens up the wall, make it look very natural. In these cases, I think the opposite. I don't like those lines, but those are easily removed. So I'm just going back and forth by pressing X on the keyboard for black and white painting on the layer mask. Let's see. I'm not as afraid of shadows as I have been, because I think shadows is a natural, a bit of a color cast there, a natural thing in the images. But I know most real estate agents, they prefer light and bright and white. So let's see what to do. Yeah, we go for like the camera. The color range. We'll reset it. I will see what we. Oh yeah, this was not on top. All right. I will put a black mask on and paint instead of doing it all again. As you can see, when I paint a bit sloppy around the couch, since it's blue, not yellow, nothing happens. That's a cool thing with both the mask that is created by the color range, but also when you isolate the colors in the hue saturation adjustment layer, you you only target the yellows, not the blues. So sometimes it's hard to know if these should be white or if they're yellow or let's see. We'll paint some out just for contrast. And these windows is they should be quite easy to cut out if you want to. That's a bad sky. Maybe I should just I do have an action ambient window pull. Okay, doesn't work. Let's see, what did it do? Actually, okay, I will look that up later. It makes a copy of the dark layer in the ambient, which often do have like the best view for the windows of the ambient files. So I don't know if I should use that instead. The colors are better. You don't have that like green tint that you get from some windows. Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. I will make that layer black. We use the pen tool. This should be fairly easy. I will show you a little trick if you are too sloppy, like I most certainly can be. Oh, yeah, all right. Now I know. Actually, in the original dark image layer mask, I have a feather set in the properties, layer properties, so I will remove that. So now I will instead do it like this. There you go. Like you see here, I totally missed it. What you can do is you have the mask selected. You go to you can use the smudge tool. Just smudge in that. Smudge that in. Smudge that in. It softens it a bit as well, and that's a good thing most of the time. Maybe here as well. I don't know. Oh, I'm not gonna make it perfect. I don't know what what tools are you using? For totally clean windows, I think the polygonal lasso tool is a better choice, but for curves I have a hard time getting it good enough with the polygonal lasso tool, so I use the pen instead. Don't you just love it when there's lots and lots of flowers in front of the window? If you feel like you want to cut it out. Not gonna be that precise. You can always blur it or feather it or paint with a very low flow. So one cool thing with the podcast I was talking about, we actually had an idea of editing each other's photos. So we provided a couple of images, and we to edit. And I have to say I'm not that used to edit other people's photos, so it helps when you know what you did and know how you think and on site. So, but it was fun. It was fun. Lucas is. It provided a very nice image. Let's see. Oh, that's way. Oh, okay, that's that's too dark. That's not good, right? Let's try this. I think it's like the wood on. Well. I'm happy I don't do this all the time. Let's paint black on those. Oh. I actually deselected that one. Let's fade it out a bit. So there you go. Should we do like a quick? No, not yet. Let's see. I will do like this. I will press F9 for my new color effects. And then I will, what will I do? I will flatten it. Let's try some contrast. Looks kind of good actually. I'll reduce it a bit. Now we'll do my action for the sky swap. Get away. There you go. have the microphone in front of the keyboard, so I can't see everything. When you think you're good at pressing the right keys, but yeah. Thank God for the undo. Unlimited undos. That's a good. I don't think I have unlimited, but yeah, I will keep playing the action. It's a bit. Yeah, I'll do it like this. Burn, baby, burn. No. Echo, let's see. Not the golden hour. I like this one for my real estate. I like having a little bit of textures in the sky, like a cloud or something there. Maybe reduce the opacity a bit. Get a tad of blue. Don't want it to be. Yeah, if I. That's not the way to go, I think. What do you think? What do you think about sky swaps in general? Can they make or break a photo? I think so, sometimes. Is it necessary all the time? I don't think so. Yeah, maybe we just, yeah, paint that corner. Is gonna have some color reduction as well. Maybe even here to paint with a easy with a brush. Like I said, it's actually a kind of a strange color because it wasn't yellow. It wasn't. I don't know. Let's go for that. More like a beige. Yeah. Let's do like a auto. See what it gives us. Yeah, it gives it a. In this case, I actually kind of like the colors. Lower the vibrance a bit. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. I will go for that. I will go for that. This one I actually tried to do some, yeah, like get a little more definition on the kitchen table here by using kind of like that to mimic the light from the window. I do have an action that creates a curves layer and then clip it to the layer below. That's a cool little feature, I think. Let's see. I will do it like this. Let's hide that. No. Yeah. Let's do it like this. All right. Learning. You don't have to have all the answer at the same time at the start. It's okay to change your mind. Goodbye. So now I have like, let's do it like this, I think. Just to get some more light in here. Low flow. Just tapping it in this hallway. Let's see what we have in the... Oh. I would like to reduce some of that glare in the picture frame. Yeah, we're on the darken mode now. Yeah, as you can see, if I paint with it on the layer with the darken mode, not much is happening in this corner. But if I do the normal mode, it happens a lot, and that's the big difference between those two layers. Because in theory they're the same layer. No. Let's see if we go back here. No. Kind of like that mood. Let's see what the ambient gives us. Yeah. Brightness it a bit. I like that. Let's see what... let's some more ambient in there. Actually paint away that glare that came back. Paint some more ambient on the side of the cloth and on the pillow. What happens here? Ah, okay. Oh, now I can see that this little fella, the lamp that looks like a... Oh, okay, the Swedish word for the day. I don't know the word in English, but it's kotte. Remember that. I know you know. I know that you know what I mean when I say kotte. It's you know, the ones that's grown in the pine trees, I guess. Yeah, so you have to remove it completely from the ambient layer. Maybe we could actually do it like this. Let's try it. I will put that flash layer in normal mode. No, makes it worse. Man. It's between the flashes, right? Right, let's do it like this then. Yeah. It's good enough. That's that's what you do all days, solving problems. Oh God. I didn't see that actually at first. Let's see, in the collection, yeah. Reduces some color, but gives it a little bit of a punch. I'm not loving it on the table, so I will do it like this. I do have like a black mask, but it's disabled, so I should actually have a white mask, and then I can just paint black. So thanks for reminding me. Now I can change that, and also the, what was it, the ambient window pull shortcut. I've done something strange with that. So auto contrast, do we need it? No. I will send this to camera raw, put an auto. Don't like the colors at all. This actually could use a little reduction of the colors, I think. In some places, let's see. There you go, good enough. Good enough. Okay, one more. I had two more, but I will do one more. I will do this one, I think. We're heading up to an hour. It's almost midnight. But this is the prime time for me. Usually. But I think we kept recording the podcast till around, I think, around 3:30. Yeah. I mean, how many times can you paint with the wrong color? I think can take a wild guess. I think around 35 to 40% of the time I'm using the wrong. I'm painting black when I should paint white, or white when I should paint black. Can anyone relate? Kind of hot over here. Yeah, let's see what our base can do for us. The one when we actually use the neat little preset. Soften it a bit. This is a common thing when you shoot your flash from behind the camera. When you have like lamps or things in the way, creating it. If I paint white, you can see that paints the, in this case, very prominent shadow. But if you're not careful, can turn up like just a color cast in like a bedroom or. So be careful. Be careful. Yeah, good enough. Ambient. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I think I will choose the darker one in this case without the light layer. You can always go back to your. Oh. I'm just gonna fix my light, I think. There you go. You can always go back to the layer. You can play with the density on to let more of that layer through. I think it looks good in this case. You can play with a curve. I assign a curve with a black layer mask disabled in this case as well, like I did on the Nick color effects. And then you can just yeah, maybe sometimes you need some contrast. Looks kind of good in this case, I think. How about the linear? Yeah. The thing about this is actually it's underneath the highlight protector, but it doesn't really matter in this case. So let's see. I think that is way too messy, but I like what it does with the woods here by the window. I like what it does to the chairs on the back of the chairs. Maybe it flattens it a bit on top of the windows. So I will selectively just paint with white, where I think I would like that. That's natural, I think. And also here on the chairs, they kind of disappear in each other with the black and here we can just paint away some of the shadows from the lamp. Let's see. Oh, we don't need to see that much through the windows. This awful, awful weather. But we have to hang in there. Soon enough it will be like totally green and the sun will shine and everybody will be happy. And let's see. You can see another example of why I prefer shooting with flash. This is the color from the ambient compared to what we have now. So I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Yeah, this. So of course you can reduce that. And I also don't like these kind of hotspots that are created in the floors with where the sun is peeking through. Some yes, but not the blown out one. And some days it's kind of hard to do even with a flash, but you have to be creative. And you have to think who's paying you and how much they are paying you. Is it worth it? Not all the time. Not all the time. Absolutely not. Here you can see we have some darkness. We can there's not much I want. I like the maybe on the back of these chairs to tame that a bit. I don't get any on the top of the table, and I had some here as well. Yeah, let's go. Or press F9 for my color effects. Looks good. Looks good. Oh. Maybe I will flatten it as well. Let's try the auto contrast. Way too much. Like 10%. Let's see. I think the color on the floor is a little too, I don't know what it is. I don't like it. It's a bit orangey. Bit too orangey, I think, in the darker. I will reduce that just a tad, maybe. Yeah, tame that a bit. That looks good. And then the last thing I will do is just go for camera raw. Press the auto. Most of the time I just reset the colors. Play with the exposure a bit. Straighten it. Maybe I will go to the color grading to play with these sliders. Give it some more contrast and punch if I want. I'm not loving that blue there. Let's try to remove that. Sometimes I'm not that worried that I select too much, because the cool thing is that you can paint away with the mask. So let's see what it did. Yeah, works across the board, I think. I will show you just another little thing that I've tried out a couple of times. I'm using LUMENZIA to create a selection of the shadows and of the highlights, and make groups and putting some adjustment layers in them. I showed this before one time, but so I think this is pretty cool. It has some potential to just at the moment I only have exposure, hue, saturation, and curves in this one. The exposure and the curves does almost the same thing, but what I like in this case. I don't need too much contrast now, but the gamma is a pretty cool thing, pretty cool slider to just play around with if you want more punch, and more if you want to soften it down a bit. The offset is doing the same, but I have no idea about behind the science. I will almost never use it, but I do have an action where I just pump up the exposure and the gamma to give it a little contrast sometimes. The hue saturation, same thing. You can, in this case, it only affects the white areas and the gray at some degree, but so sometimes that's a pretty cool thing if you're getting too saturated colors in the shadows, and if you're going for a very washed out look, you can do like this. And same with the curves. I can go for the midtones, lower the midtones higher, and I can create some more punch and more softness as well with those. I won't do anything. I just wanted to show you that. Same thing with the highlights, and these are the areas that are selected. So the exposure, what does it do? The gamma goes the opposite direction. Here you can see it getting very, very white, and here you got like soften it down a bit, almost like flatten it. And the hue saturation, if I pull this all the way up, you see there is some colors there. So maybe just tone that down in the whites, in the lights. And I think we're done. How about that? Tuesday night editing. Let's see. If you've watched this, thank you so much. If you're looking for a podcast on real estate photography, mostly, other stuff as well, be sure to check out mine and Lucas's podcast when it drops, as the kids say. I don't know when. We have to edit it first, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any suggestion on a name for the podcast, please let us know. We have some ideas, but nothing is decided yet. So that will be fun. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.